Welcome back, traders. And today I've got a couple of things to talk about. We're going to go over Bitcoin. We're going to go over some of the miners, specifically Mara, I'd like to talk about today. And then also, I'm going to bring forward something that is a bit on my nerves regarding crypto right now that I'm personally dealing with, that hopefully no one else is dealing with, that perfectly illustrates why I'd like to move myself out of the crypto space and into just stocks that are related to crypto for that type of exposure. Anyways, so now we're looking at the Marathon Digital Holdings page here. See down here, Marathon Digital Holdings. This is their webpage. Last Friday, July 27th, 8 a.m., they had their 2023 annual shareholder meeting. During that meeting, there was supposed to be a proxy vote. One of the things that were being addressed during that vote was to increase the amount of shares available for trade from 200 million to 500 million. I'll bring that up right now, actually. It's right here. This is from their SEC filing, Schedule 14A, proxy statement from Marathon Digital Holdings. This is what they submitted to the SEC. I can look it up in a moment. June 23rd. So this was submitted on June 23rd. During this vote, Thursday, not Friday. Thursday, July 27th, 2023 at 8 a.m. in Irvine, California. So 8 a.m. Pacific time. One of the aspects of this vote was to increase shares of common stock from 200 million to 500 million. That was several days ago now. We've had no update on the results of this vote so far. So I am currently not buying any Mara until I know the results of this vote, because this vote would significantly decrease the value of my shares if it was increased to 500 million shares available from 200 million. As you can see, that's more than double. So that'd be a significant increase in shares available, which would be a significant dilution. Now, that doesn't mean that they will immediately issue an additional 300 million shares. That just means that they're authorized to do it if they want to, but the stock will take a hit that day when the news drops that they've increased it to 500 million. Or conversely, if they keep it the same at 200 million, people such as myself will be buying more that day as soon as we know whether or not it's going to increase or not. So something to keep an eye on, that information. I'm going to keep an eye on that news. I will update you when I know. This is the other thing, KuCoin. So I use KuCoin to purchase some crypto that is not always available on Coinbase or crypto.com. I use this instead of Binance because I like it more than Binance. Also, you can't use Binance in the US anymore either. Anyways, but I move on. So this notice shows up every time I open up KuCoin now. It says, based on your IP address, we currently do not provide services in your country or region due to local laws, regulations, or policies. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause if you are from a country or region where you do go on and on and on. So I get this notice every time I open it up now. I have some crypto on here. I need to move my crypto off of here now because I don't know if I will still be able to access it whenever this is fully inaccessible in the United States, or if it will become fully inaccessible in the United States. All I know now is that every time I open up KuCoin, I get a notice saying they don't service my region anymore, and I need to get my crypto off of that exchange. I mean, they don't say it, but personally, I'm thinking in my mind I must get my crypto off of this exchange because I do not want to not have access to my coins anymore. Now that leads me to the next issue, getting my coins off. The coins I have on here are not on Coinbase. They are not on crypto.com. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. I can transfer them to a DeFi wallet like Coinbase wallet or crypto.com wallet or MetaMask or Uniswap. I can transfer it there, but it's a little bit expensive to do that. It's a little more expensive than I like to do it. So it is a major pain, and I haven't transferred my coins yet. I had my XRP here while the SEC was suing Ripple. I have since I started seeing this notice, I have moved my XRP back to Coinbase since it's tradable there again. But I still have other coins that can't go to Coinbase. that I'm trying to figure out exactly what I should do with them. I don't want to sell them because they're significantly down right now since we're in the middle of a crypto winter. So this is just a real pain and something that if you're in the crypto space, you deal with more frequently than I'd like to think about. And it's not something I deal with or think about when trading stocks associated with crypto. Because if it's listed, and I mean, I guess things can be delisted from the stock exchange, but it's not super common. You will get noticed. It's not going to just happen without you knowing. Or at least, I mean, it could, I guess, if you don't pay attention. But that's just something that's annoying me now. So, Bitcoin. So, for a few days, we were really boring and flat down here. And I was waiting for it to break down beneath this. I thought this candle was going to do it. It got down here, got a little, if we zoom in, it got a little bit away. If it would have just closed down there, that would have been it. Recently today, just in this Sunday in the afternoon here, we got this big green candle. I'll show that in a moment. Yesterday, actually, I was in here drawing these lines, these horizontal lines. So the way I did that was I used the order book. If I come here and look at the order book, 29,500. It's got a lot of Bitcoin you got to chew through to get above that. So 29,500, where I drew this line right here, big resistance. And you can see the big wick at the top of that candle as a result from lots of selling pressure there. Also 29,600, 30 Bitcoin of selling pressure just at the next level. So this is going to be a fight if they want to get all the way up to this 200-day moving average right here at 29,824. But if you get above 29.8, honestly 29.7, there's not a lot up here. Not a lot of resistance up here until 32,000. That's where you got 28 Bitcoin of resistance. I mean, 31,000 has 12 Bitcoin of resistance currently. But I mean, that's not tons. 32,400 is where it stopped, where it caps out this list of the order book for me. That's 16 Bitcoin. So if we get past this 29.5 and then 29.6, once we get past that, it's kind of smooth sailing all the way up to 32,000. We can see a pretty big bump up to the, okay, when I drew this, 30,500 had some big resistance. Let's see if it still does. I don't think it does anymore. No, it's all gone. Now it's 31,000. So the next move now is all the way up here. So if we get past 29,600, we're basically going to go up to 31,000. If that happens, we got to get past it and close. Not like this little wick here. Not like this wick here. That just kind of went above it. It wicked above it, but it came back down. So this is still indecisive. This could, end flat again for the day. That is possible. But it is a bit of a rising wedge. You can see the flat bit here. And this part, the wicks are kind of angling up. That's a rising wedge. That's a bit bearish still. So we need to break above this line, hold above it, get above 29,600, break above it, and then we're off to the races. The flip side is down here in the order book, 29,400. There's a lot of resistance there for buying pressure, 29,300, even more, 77 Bitcoin at 29,300. There's a lot of resistance right here. I think we're going to stay in a tight range here unless it breaks out to the upside, because the downside, there's a lot of buying pressure, 29.3, then again at 29,000, then again at 28,800, 28,400, 55 Bitcoin of buying pressure down there, another 47 buying pressure, Bitcoin of buying pressure at 28,200, 60 Bitcoin at 28,000. Like, we're not going below 28,000. I don't think we're going to go below 28,000. Of course, based on 70 Bitcoin above at 29,500, I don't think we're really going to get above 29,500. Not today. I don't think that's going to happen today. So we're probably going to see more, based on this order book alone, we're probably going to see a lot more flat movement here in this range between 29.5 and 29.2. Once we break out of this range, then it's going to be interesting. That's when things are going to get interesting. Let's look at the Mara chart. Mara chart is still in a bit of a downward move. Lower highs, lower lows. As you can see here, we made that newer high after this high here, but we came back and made a new low, so that is now nullified. We are looking now to make a new low somewhere below 1588. I'm looking to get below this line here at 1615. That will confirm to me that we're probably going to make a new low. Right now, we're kind of stalled out here between 1673 and 1644. We want to see a move either up to the 200 and a rejection at the 200, and then follow back down here. Let's see what's down there. Is there a moving average down there? Yeah, the 1 hour. So if we go to the 1 hour, if we get rejected at that 17 and come back, we may come down and test the 200 on the 1 hour, which by that time will probably be around this 1587 or maybe back to this low here, around 1577. I expect just more movements that are kind of sideways, a little bit of up and down here and there. Right now, it's not so much from the top here, but from this wick here, we're following a bit of a trend line here on this. This trend line here, sort of, that was heading down, it's tapering up a bit. So I'm going to leave these two on here, and we're going to see what happens when we get into this section down here. Is it going to break straight above this? If it keeps going sideways, it'll break above this line, and eventually, we don't know what's going to happen. If it breaks below this, we're going down. If it breaks above this, probably going up. This is a bit of a falling wedge here that we're looking at. And that's what we're doing right now, just waiting, kind of just waiting. For this chart, I'm not buying anything, as I said, until we know what's going on with the shares, but I will be watching it to see what it does for movement. BTBT, much the same as before. I started doing much larger downward channels here that it's been respecting. It just broke out of this downward channel that I had here, but I had an upward channel that it broke out of as well, so I'm expecting it to probably re-enter this downward channel down here, possibly go past this line. If it goes past 393, we have a double top on our hands, and it will probably, if it closes below that 393, we'll probably see it revisit the lows down here at 362. I'm just being patient with these right now. We still have a pretty big shelf that we're working with. Also, the 200, there will be resistance at $4. We still have a pretty big shelf that we're working with here on this. You can see on the daily, it is doing this nice downward channel. Broken out of it, actually. No, we didn't. I'll lock this one, hold it for a while, see what it does. We're at the top of this downward channel, so I expect we could see some upward movement, but unless the candle closes outside of this channel, I don't expect the movement to change. I expect it to continue following it down. We may see it start to form in the center from the center line here and reverse, kind of like it did here. It went to the center, stayed around the center before reaching the bottom again, so we might see it do that. Kind of vacillate around here, around the center, come up to the top, and eventually break through it. I mean, eventually it will go up. But we are looking at the shelf here. Horizontal ray, it is about right here. I want to see closure below 376. I'll look that one too. To know that we are doing a larger downward move, probably down to this region here, 327, down to even maybe 278. That's what's going on with BTBT. But it's not very interesting. It's pretty flat, as you can see, just sort of hanging out in this 350 range, going down to 330 a bit. Not a lot going on. We got the 200-day above it. That's a little bit bearish. Or the 200 on the 30-minute. That's a bit bearish. We are above the 20, though. So that's good. See about on the daily. On the daily, we're looking like a bear flag, if I'm being honest. We came off of these tweezers up here. Got down, hung out in this box a little bit. Came to the 20. Sliced through the 20. Went under it. Bounced off. Got rejected from beneath the 20. And we're on our way down. That's actually really bearish. I'm expecting HUT to come down further. Honestly, this looks like a bear flag to me right here. And once it breaks below this big engulfing red candle here, I'm expecting it to get into this green box down here. No problem. Now, that can all be undone if Bitcoin shoots up above 30,000. If Bitcoin shoots up above 30,000, this ends up being part of, I don't know, an Elliott wave where this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then into the moon. But that would require Bitcoin to break above 30,000, hold it, and go up to higher levels, even 31,000. If it does that kind of breakout, you can imagine that the miners are going to go crazy off of that type of move. So that's the update for today. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.